A plus B equals C. If they can get Gunna by being associated with Thug funneling money to Gunna, racketeering, RICO Act, who gave the money to Thug? Who gave the money to Thug? So now Kevin Liles has to go on the record and say, well, I only knew him as an upstanding human being.
This is officially global.
So people looking at the Thug case, and I really believe that they're looking in the wrong direction. I mean, YSL, Thug being a bigger artist, that's just what you see. And we know that they gonna get him for something. You know what I mean? Like, they got 10 years of tapes and recordings. They gonna get him for something. They going after him too hard. He gonna have to lay down. But I don't think that that's the bigger story. The bigger thing is Gunna. He's the major key. And I'm sure y'all sitting here like, why you say that? If Gunna, just by the mere fact of him being associated with Young Thug, he's not a shooter, he hasn't sold dope, he ain't going around, you know what I'm saying, earning stripes for YSL. But just by his association with Thug, them being able to implicate him because of the RICO. Thug using rap money to fund illegal activity in the Atlanta area. That sets a precedent in the rap industry. And the record labels know this. Hence, now you get a different perspective of why Kevin Liles, he comes down to the courtroom and he's crying on the stand.
My job is to seek out talented people. And I think God brought us together in a very weird way. But I think we were meant to be together. Jeffrey is not just an artist. He's an influencer. He is a person that I think was put here to change the people around him. And he's so talented. He's creative, he's innovative, and he's fearless. He's a risk taker. And those kind of people, I call them change agents. I'm not signing just artists, I'm raising a young man. He looks at me as a father figure. He's not, like I said, we can't limit it to just his lyrics or his music. He's a young man, and he will be a contributing citizen to this world, and that's what I invest in. And I truly believe this whole thing that people are talking about, it's not him. The Jeffrey I know give me clothes off his back. The Jeffrey I know, I can give him my kids, he can give me his kids. That's the Jeffrey I know.
You mentioned lyrics. There's been a lot of argument by the prosecution.
You think it's because of how he feels about Thug. But it's to separate himself and his constituents at the label. A plus B equals C. If they can get Gunna by being associated with Thug funneling money to Gunna, racketeering, RICO Act, who gave the money to Thug? Who gave the money to Thug? So now Kevin Liles has to go on the record and say, well, I only knew him as an upstanding human being. The guy I knew, he didn't do any of those things. Is this really for Thug? Or is this to protect himself and the people that he works for? Because you cannot go and charge Gunna without going up the ladder. That's why they have to try to position Thug as the kingpin. But like I said, who gave Thug the money? That's why it has to be positioned on Thug. And if that's the case, us as hip-hop fans, we have to ask ourselves a question. I think that we back in the situation of 6ix9ine. A person might, let's say that Thug keys in on this and he goes to his lawyer and he says, well, they trying to claim me as the kingpin and give all of this time to me. I didn't just get the money myself. How are they positioning me as the leader of this organization? Is that snitching? Is holding them accountable for what they knew he was doing. Go look at Thug before he got the record deal. Would he have been able to do what he was doing without being known as Thug? The record label propping him up as a major artist and making him famous, did that not aid in solidifying him? And him being able to do what he was doing. So is that snitching? Is that somehow snitching on the plug? And if it is it wrong? Because what it makes you do is think twice about putting that type of stuff out. So that leads into another conversation. Does the landscape of hip hop and what's put out to the general public, and not just the general public, but then the black community, different? Hence now we have what's that rapper name? What is that rapper's name? Jack Harlow and the Jack Harlow Project to see if can we get a non-threatening white artist to do what these black artists are doing. As simple as that. And to show you how early they were working on it, they knew it was happening. Gunna and what's the girl name? Chloe ended up splitting up. I'm sure management went down, heard some of the things that were happening, and said, you know what? You're not even from that world. That's not where your career needs to go. So they ended up splitting. It was already word in the record industry that this was going on. This is why you haven't heard any hip hop music or new music that has come out, because people are waiting to see. There was murmurings before he even got caught up. So I really think that you should look at this. Gunna is the major key. He's the piece. He's the one that's going to set the precedent for how hip hop or the landscape of hip hop is going to look in the future. Period, point blank.
This is officially global. Make sure you follow the page.